Hey, what's up guys? This video is going to be really helpful to you if you have had your selling privileges revoked by Etsy. I actually put together a one-page PDF. It is right there at the top of the description, and it's got the step-by-step exact actions you need to take to get a new Etsy shop launched. I recently went through these exact steps myself, so I just wanted to let you know right up front that I put that together for you. Forming a new LLC is involved, and in the rest of this video I'm going to talk you through how we can go about getting that new LLC formed with a business address and all the stuff that we need to get back onto Etsy and get back to selling. So let's get into it. Hey guys, thank you for joining me for a new video. Today I am joined by Robert Goldberg of Fast Biz Law, and he is an attorney that specializes in helping us, in the case of the thumbnail of this video, helps us get back onto Etsy by forming an LLC on our behalf. Is that phrasing it correctly? Can you let me know, Robert?
That's right. So I'm the owner of Fast Biz Law. The primary focus of the firm is we help individuals, mostly e-commerce individuals. I'm also an e-commerce seller, but we help them register LLCs and corporations in the U.S. I also help a lot of international entrepreneurs that don't live in the U.S. register LLCs here so that they can sell on Amazon and, in your case, Etsy.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely have a ton of Amazon sellers, Etsy sellers, eBay, all the major e-commerce marketplaces are really where I prefer to be selling on, all at the same time simultaneously. It's a big part of what we talk about on this channel. And when you reached out to me with your service of helping us form LLCs, it resonated right away because it's definitely, let's just say, not uncommon to cross paths with people that were selling on Etsy, were successful, myself included. And then one day for literally any, it's like, I wish we had like a little wheel. We could just spin the wheel and then pick a reason why you're going to get kicked off Etsy. You're done. And then you want to get back on Etsy, and we need a new tax ID. We need a new LLC. I just recently went through this process, and I was hoping that you could just kind of explain what's really going on, because I'm not going to lie. When I got my new Etsy shop launched, I didn't know what the heck was actually happening behind the scenes. I just paid, and the next thing you know, I've got a new tax ID, new company, and that's what I input into Etsy to register the new shop, and it all worked magically. So do you mind like elaborating on what's really going on?
Yeah, so I mean, it's a coincidence. A lot of my Amazon sellers, they get banned from Amazon for violating the terms of service. Etsy, I've had a couple Etsy people as well who get shut down for whatever reason. I would need more information from the specific client to know the reasoning, but it could be as simple as violating their terms of service. Etsy and Amazon both are pretty strict. It could be also that they didn't have the LLC or EIN, and maybe Etsy, noticed that there was something sketchy going on with the account. And so obviously, the right way to start a business would be to form the LLC, get an EIN number, open up a separate business bank account, and have a business address. The business address can be your home address, or it can be your virtual business address. That's a very common thing that we use for the Etsy sellers. But, that is the proper way to get started. So I think that the chances of getting shut down from Etsy when you actually set it up properly with the LLC or a corporation and get the EIN and really form it as a proper business from the get-go, I think your chances of ever getting shut down would be much less.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And then just for everybody watching, Fast Biz Law, your law firm, like, it's not a help Etsy sellers get back on Etsy
right.
firm. But I told you I was going to frame the video this way because I knew it would draw a lot of interest. I've done some videos in the past that have gotten tens of thousands of views, to the point where people created YouTube comment bots specifically to advertise services that probably don't work. I've never tried to use them, but just to help you get back on Etsy. And
yeah, it's a very, very common thing, honestly. I mean, because I'm an e-commerce seller, I'm in a unique position where it's like people find out that I do that, and so they want to use me to get them set up properly. But it does turn out that like a ton of my callers are individuals that are facing this issue. Not so much with Etsy, but I've had a few Etsy sellers and primarily with Amazon. So I definitely do not say that I can help you get your Amazon account back or your Etsy account back. But when you're forming a new business, you can create a new Etsy account under your business's name. It's not really under your name. It's a separate entity apart from yourself. So Etsy shouldn't have a problem with opening up the account.
Yeah, and Etsy is pretty well known to have a robust matching algorithm. I mean, I've never been like a developer on Etsy's payroll, so I can't speak with 100% certainty of exactly what they look at. But since I just went through this process, I know that, for instance, you want to change your credit card, you want to change your business address. I think, like, again, I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure as many of these things you can. For sure, you want to change your tax ID. So I
Right.
actually went and your social security number in the United States counts as a tax ID. So I had used that with the very first Etsy shop I had ever opened. And that was probably like 2015, way before I was doing anything e-commerce related that I talk about today. And I got shut down for no reason, even though the one listing I had was handmade. And that was that,
Wow.
and then I opened up a new one and immediately got that shut down, right? Because the matching algorithm. So
Right.
yeah, it's just been a long story, long road.
Yeah. So, I
Multiple
mean, when you
LLCs.
get, of course, because you used your social security number, Etsy's going to know that that was your social security number, and they're not going to let you open up another account.
Right.
They might be able to match if you use your home address. They might be able to match your home address to the new account you're trying to create because it's connected to your home address.
They do. I used my mom's social security number and matched the address, and yeah, that immediately got shut down. So
yeah, so I'm not advocating for sketchy behavior, but when you form a new LLC, you get a new EIN number. So that's what replaces the social security number essentially. So when you operate a business and start an LLC, you don't really operate it using your social. You operate it using like the business's social security number. And also, as far as I know, if you used your home address originally and now you want to create a new Etsy account, it's not going to work most likely because they already have the previous address. So what a lot of clients do is get a virtual business address. Even if they were never banned from Etsy, I think it's a good idea to have a virtual business address because you're selling ideally a high volume of products, right? Eventually you're going to get a client that's upset or whatever, and you don't really want your home address to be listed on your Etsy account, and you don't want your home address to be listed on the state's website. So Etsy is going to clearly show the name of your LLC. And if someone's upset, they're going to search your LLC and it's going to take them to the Secretary of State website and it's going to show the home address. So usually for businesses that I start for my clients that are online businesses, I give them the option. You can use your home address. Keep in mind, it will be listed on the Secretary of State website. Alternatively, if you don't want to use your home address, I recommend a virtual business address. And I've got a couple companies that charge around like $10 a month. So it's worked out pretty well. But Amazon, good luck. Amazon's super strict right now. So Amazon probably won't accept the virtual business address. As of recently, they've gotten pretty strict. So you will need to use your home address or actually rent an office address or a warehouse.
yeah, that makes sense for Amazon. I think because of the a lot of people prefer to have the automated removals sent back to them, and then if it all goes to some location where it gets returned to sender, and
Yeah.
Amazon's getting all this stuff sent back.
That's right.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. But you make a great point too. Like we do have a lot of people watching the channel that. So there's this program, like lesser known way to sell on Amazon called Amazon Merch or Amazon Merch on Demand, where you can sell print on demand T-shirts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they have an application process that is a pain to get accepted. I don't know why. Even if you're living in the United States, like a lot of people have to apply more than once, myself included. For people that live outside the US, I think a lot of it boils down to who you bank with. It's weird, right? You would think it would matter. It would be something else other than that. But I think who you bank with can almost instantly disqualify you. So I think, what are your thoughts? Like, do you think they're a good candidate?
Yeah, I mean, that's for international people, that's the biggest challenge is the bank account. There are online banks now, and that's what most of the e-commerce sellers use who don't want to physically come to the US and open up a bank account in person because that's what's required. It's a KYC process. So even if you have an LLC and all that stuff, you still have to come to the US to open up the account. But now there are these online banks. One of them is called Mercury Bank. It is FDIC insured, so it's a legitimate online bank. And when you do it that way, you don't have to come to the US to open up the account. You can do it all online. They're going to ask you for the LLC documents, and they'll open it up remotely. So
yeah,
that's a good workaround.
That's what I use. So.
Oh, really?
For the new LLC, yeah. So
nice.
That's perfect.
Yeah. It's I hear good things about them. It really solves a problem, and it just makes your life a lot easier.
Yeah, it's certainly from an ease of use perspective, very easy to use, and they send you the virtual card, and then they'll mail you a real debit too. So,
but the hardest thing really is getting that address. Like Amazon knows when an address is a virtual address. Like they've gotten pretty smart. So that's the toughest part for the international people. and even the US people who don't want to use their home address. So that's a challenge. But there are some companies that are like trying to figure out how to get that to work, where you actually rent an office space from an actual office, but those are more expensive.
Not a bad business idea, actually. For what it's worth, I use a virtual address for the new Etsy shop, and working like a charm. So at least in the context of Etsy, that's working really well. But so this has been great so far. And as I'm talking to you, I'm realizing like I'm going to put together a like 1-page PDF with your contact, just kind of like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outline maybe, and maybe some like little best practices for anybody looking to get back onto Etsy. And I'll just link that at the very top of the description for everybody to like go download, bookmark.
Sounds good. Yeah, we offer like a consultation. We would sit down, you know, if someone was interested, we would sit down, kind of analyze whether they should do an LLC at all, which they really should, because it provides you with liability protection. You're selling products. Eventually, it's possible, at least depending on the product, that product could cause harm to somebody or injure them or whatever. And you're going to want the LLC to provide you with liability protection. So the benefit of the LLC really is so that if, let's say, a product injures somebody, the injured person is going to go after the LLC. They're not going to go after you personally. So the main benefit, by the way, of the LLC is not just to open up an Etsy account or an Amazon account. It's really to provide you with liability protection against your personal assets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I was just about to segue you into basically answering what an LLC is, right? It's a limited liability company.
That's right.
Perfect.
It's a limited liability company.
Yeah. Added benefit to having your LLC beyond just getting past the ridiculous Etsy algorithm that tries to prevent people from ever selling on their platform ever again. If they were not doing anything wrong, like myself, I still to this day am willing to defend myself. Like I had a bunch of people that I was competing with on certain, you know, high value print on demand niches. Just say, hey, I can remove my competition by hitting the report button.
Yeah, it's not fair. Etsy's got to fix that, and I'm sure they will eventually. But you know, what are you going to do? You can't really fight with these big companies. You're
until
you're
that
a small
day,
fish.
Until that day, exactly. Yeah, you know, even the big fish too. I have a couple of stories, but until that day, guys, definitely check out Fast Biz Law. Robert is here to help. And you mentioned they can book a call and talk to you, right? Is there a cost associated with speaking to you or one of your team members?
As of now, no. You know, ideally, I would like the individual to actually be pretty interested prior to scheduling a call. You know, interested in proceeding with an LLC package and having us help them get set up. But no, there's no call. During the call, we would discuss whether an LLC is beneficial or a corporation. Those are two common questions. Or what state to register your LLC in. We would analyze that. A lot of people hear about Wyoming and Delaware and all sorts of things. A lot of the times, that's not really something that should be done for various reasons. There are benefits, but there are also cons. So we would just analyze during the call your particular situation and kind of give you our, you know, go from there.
Yeah, that's extremely valuable because, man, it's like, yeah, I hear the same things you just referenced, but I don't know, you know, I don't have a solid footing in the legality and tax benefits or whatever it is behind that. So it's great that you're making yourself and your team accessible. And can we just mention really quickly, like if you guys do end up booking a call, you know, just be respectful, please. Like he's not an Etsy expert that's going to tell you how to open a new Etsy account. He's a lawyer.
That's
He's going to help you form an LLC. So.
Yeah, and if you do schedule a call, please try to actually attend the call. I get a lot of people who take advantage of the free consultation aspect, and they'll schedule the call and they'll say they'll be there on time, and then they never show up. I never hear from them. So, you know, I do set aside that time frame of 30 minutes for that call. So be courteous. That'd be cool.
Cool. Hey, Robert, thank you so much for being here, man. Anything you would like to add before we sign off?
I think that's it. If you guys are, you know, interested or have any questions, let me know. And I appreciate being here.
No, I really appreciate it, man. And I'm going to put your contact in the description. And like I said, guys, I'll put together like a 1-page PDF that you can either download or bookmark, and it'll have everything you need to know in the context of like Etsy. I can't say Amazon because I'm not 100% sure about the virtual address thing, but at least Etsy will have the like step-by-step what you need to follow to get back on the platform, since I just went through the process.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm also an e-commerce seller. I do sell on Etsy, not nearly as much as I do on Amazon, but I transferred my Amazon products over to Etsy, and trust me, a lot of my clients are in e-commerce. It's a real thing. You can make a real living. It's not just people on YouTube, you know, telling you that it's like a get rich quick thing. I have a lot of young clients that seriously make a killing on these e-commerce websites. So definitely take it seriously. It's a real business.
Man, I love hearing that. That's what we're all about here on this channel, man. It's just like creating that extra source of passive income, and then hopefully like either creating multiple sources, like go from Amazon to Amazon and Etsy, or if just Amazon wants to grow so big that it replaces your full time, I mean, hey, why not?
Yeah, these are real businesses, side hustles turning into real businesses or whatever it may be. But it's legit.
Cool. Hey, Robert, thanks for being here, man.
Thank you. Bye-bye.